Goo goo gaga.
No, you can really talk. I heard you.
Welcome back to The Trends. We're glad to see you join us in another video. Today we're gonna revisit a movie that's almost a forgotten classic, if you can say that about a movie from only 5 years ago, that is. One of those non-Disney, non-Pixar animated movies you watched on a random Sunday afternoon then totally forgot existed. Yeah, that happened to us with this little gem called The Boss Baby from 2017. Do you remember this movie at all? And most importantly, do you want to discover how the guys at DreamWorks somehow put a lot of stuff not meant for little children into this movie? Stay with us until the end of the video if you want to discover all the Boss Baby scenes that were not made for kids. Let's begin.
It wasn't me. It was the baby's fault.
The baby's fault?
It's true. He can talk.
We start on a hardcore note with peak physical comedy, and that's a bit of a euphemism, of course, because the scene is just about someone almost getting something forced up their behinds. Yeah, we're barely hitting into the intro scene and they present us with what we think are the Boss Baby's first moments of life. We think, because it's not very clear how this happens. The thing is, a Boss Baby being his own thing is upside down on the conveyor belt and he almost gets his pacifier plugged in his little butt. Good thing he managed to turn into the right position. This one isn't really about a scene, but more about a song that repeats in several scenes across the movie. We're talking about that song Tim's parents sing to him. It could seem as if this is an original song created for the movie, but that is not the case. It is not precisely for children because it's one of those things only parents can know. When Baby Boss starts singing Tim's song, he gets furious and asks him not to do it because he's convinced his parents wrote that song for him, to which he replies, "Really? Your parents are Lennon and McCarthy?" Somehow, thanks to the power of the script, the baby knows that the song is Blackbird by the Beatles.
Oh, someone can't go down the stairs? Ha!
Oh, and we quickly hit another inappropriate moment with an unfortunate choice of words that make this scene sound terrible. Boss Baby has blown its cover and Tim is demanding answers. He sees no other solution but to take Tim to Baby Corp so he can see things with his own eyes. The method for getting there is unexpected. Tim must suck on the baby's pacifier to get a taste of Baby Corp's special baby formula. That's when he says to Tim, "I want you to suck it." Oh my god, we were not prepared for this conversation at all. And it goes on and on with "suck it, I don't want to suck it, and you need to suck it." Are we done here?
Seriously, I'm the only one who thinks there's something weird about this guy?
This is a teeny weeny detail, but it's enough to put it on the list because it references something very adult. We're talking about the actual answer to the timeless question of where do babies come from? You know, the real one, not the one with the storks, and definitely not Baby Corp. Okay, back to the scene. They are walking through Baby Corp and Tim is really impressed to see what the company does. The thing is, he was very well informed about the actual process of creating a child between a man and a woman. He whispers it in Baby Boss's ear and he is shocked by the idea. They both reject it for being disgusting. Oh, children.
Aren't you gonna do any work?
I'm very busy delegating. He drains it.
Okay, talking about the Boss Baby gets a bit exhausting if we keep repeating the words Boss Baby, so we're gonna call him BB from now on, okay? So BB needs to discover the conspiracy surrounding the introduction of the new puppy, and his big plan after he finds the truth is not sending baby ninjas as Tim thought. He just wants to send the perfect memo. Sounds really boring to Tim, and it's not something kids would understand, but it's nicely reflecting BB's belonging to corporate culture. The scene pays off in the end when Tim embraces the power of the memo and sends one to BB inviting him to become his brother. Now that Tim and BB are faking it till they make it, they do all kinds of things to look like loving brothers. That's when their parents catch them having a little bro moment. Tim is reading Hansel and Gretel to BB, but the way he does it goes better with the horrible story presented in the book than the watered-down version they used to read us. Hardcore phrasing like the godless witch was miserably burnt to to death is followed by an unsupervised conversation about the horrors of cannibalism, child abduction, and burning people alive. No wonder why kids are so... Did you catch all the film and pop culture references included in this movie? Well, that might depend on your age, of course. Like we said before, it seems like this kind of witty throwbacks to retro movies and TVs is more adult-oriented than anything. We're sure that parents and grandparents crack a laugh or two when they recognize these Easter eggs from the movies and media they grew up with. We can, for example, catch an Indiana Jones reference when Bibi and Tim hit the file warehouse at the puppy company to hijack a file that could lead them to more info in the puppy conspiracy. They find the suspicious folder with an allegedly important file placed in the trap that reminds us of the idol statue in Raiders of the Lost Ark. And just like in that movie, the boys need to replace the object with something of its exact weight to prevent the trap from going off. And just like Indiana, they fail to do so. At some point, Bibi refers to the thug chasing them as Scary Poppins, which is obviously a reference to the classic movie Mary Poppins from '64. Although some kids might be familiar with the character if they watched the sequel that they did in 2018. The more iconic moment here is when the thug does the flying umbrella thing and uses it to graciously land after a short flight. And if parents and grandparents haven't had enough smirks by this point, the movie still has a couple of aces up its sleeve. There's a cool scene in which the boys jump over a moving train using a lump of dirt as a ramp. In his imagination, Tim pictures himself as a famous daredevil Evel Knievel as they do dangerous stunts. Finally, we have the whole hilarious sequence with the Elvis impersonators at the airport. It's very well crafted and even worth a couple of laughs. But do kids these days even know who Elvis is? Elvis has left the airport, people.
And
did you ever expect to see a kid and his baby brother getting a ride on a full-on limo full of women en route to what they call a lady party in Vegas? We sure didn't, but even after putting them in that position, they let the kids take a souvenir as they get out of the car. BB comments on how chicks dig babies as he wipes several kiss marks from his forehead, and Tim drinks something from a party glass. He immediately recoils after tasting the drink and exclaims, "The people in Long Island do not know how to make an iced tea." But you and I know that they know, right?
I can't! You're in my house!
I don't want to be here any more than you want me to be here.
You know, by this point the movie has set the weird bar very high. This last scene won't disappoint those waiting for one last inappropriate scene. Oh boy, it surely won't. Let's see how we can describe this in a suitable way. The scene where everyone at Baby Corp is celebrating BB's success and subsequent promotion shows the baby sharing cream pies and making their baby formula shoot up to the sky in a group frenzy. It almost looks ritualistic how all the babies gather in a circle around BB to spray them with fresh, pressurized milk from their formula bottles. Disturbing, right?
I love pie.
Who doesn't?
Apple.
Fine.
No cherry.
Perfect.
Not pumpkin.
Okay.
That's a vegetable.
Point is,
Are you a bit horrified about the stuff they put in kids' movies nowadays? Because we are. But only a bit, to be honest. They always manage to hide these things so well, and if you think about it, most of the time kids are too small to understand this kind of stuff. So our theory is they put it there so parents can have some fun too when they take their kids to the movies. And that's kind of cool. Anyways, that's all for today's video. Check the rest of our channel for more content about your favorite animated movies, and of course, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn your notifications on by hitting that little bell if you want to keep receiving awesome stuff like this. Bye.
you're all grown up.